All right, so had a few requests from people asking about how I did my back box, in particular for the LED lighting. So I'm not saying this is how it was. This is just my analysis from the show, looking at screenshots, freeze framing the videos. This is how I think it was done. This is how it appears to me. So if you don't agree with that, that's totally okay. This is my interpretation of it based on what I see. And how I think the lights are placed. So I'm just going to take this lens thing off because it's not glued down. I'm sort of in the middle of applying filler layers and stuff like that so that I can sand this down, right? So this is kind of how I have my back box. I'm going to have a plate that is worn sort of like a tiny little backpack. It's going to have, straps on it that I can just clip together, okay? And so this will be worn on top of the vest on my back. And then this has rare earth cup magnets on it. You can see they're sort of mounted underneath these straps. And then on this side, it has corresponding magnets on the back of this box. So I bought the files from Outer Rim Workshop. They're great. I just modified them for my use. Again, if you want to do it this way, you can go and modify them. You can do it kind of however you want. You don't even have to necessarily modify the back box itself. You can probably cut and drill and glue things on so as you see fit, right? So that's kind of how mine. So after you've got I got the vest, I put this on. Then I would put the long trench coat, overcoat on, and then this would magnetically attach like that, right? So it just snaps on like that. It's super secure, okay? And then the back box itself, so if I was looking at the top of it, there's the one red LED here, okay? And then there is, again, to my eyes, there's two LEDs. There's a LED that faces upwards. So if this was your back, this is facing away from you. And then there's an LED facing towards your back, okay? So I've just got it right now on two, 14500 lithium ion batteries with like a 5 volt, I think, converter. Okay, so everything's going to 5 volts, so I don't fry the LEDs. This will just ensure that it lasts a really long time. If you want to hook it up with AA's or whatever, you can figure out an LED circuit for the whole thing, right? So if I turn this switch on, this will turn on the two LEDs that are in the back box. So again, if I was looking at it from the side, you would see the cool one down here is facing away from you, and then the warm one is pointing down. That's kind of what I see in the shots, in the scenes from the show, okay, is sort of a look like that, okay? And then if I have this other switch that I turn on, oops, sorry, I turned it off there. If I turn on this other switch, oh, there it is. It's the blinking red LED. So when he first, whatever, I think it might be like the second last or last episode, when he's going to meet the gangsters or whatever, and they have that sort of meeting, you can see him walking down a hallway and there's these Jawas and stuff scurrying around, and you can see that red LED blinking, okay? So that being said, there was some feedback about, okay, when I was sort of talking to the detachment, the bounty hunters detachment, about the look of the lights and stuff, they were saying, oh, it looks like there's an animated light. It looks as though it's moving back and forth. And I actually don't think that's the case. I think that's a bit of an optical illusion. So you can see, obviously, none of the lights are actually moving. They're just mounted in the box. But as the character walks, or if the camera moves, right, it's going to give the illusion that the light is moving across those slits, right? So kind of same with the upper one, or sorry, the one facing the other way. If you were to look at it at the right angle, or if it's shot a certain way, it's going to look like it's animating, but it's actually not animating. It's just a static light. Again, that's my interpretation of it. I honestly don't think they would have gone to the effort of making a Knight Rider kind of thing going on there, because really you kind of sort of achieve that via an optical illusion with these slots, okay? So again, that's just the way I did it. I think it's really easy to set up, and all I did was I made some little brackets And I'm happy to share these files, right? So it's just sort of like a C-shaped bracket for that LED, and then just like a flat one or something that I glued on here. They're really, really simple, right? You just basically want the cool LED to face away from you and the warm one kind of in the middle of the box facing towards you. That's what I think it is. Again, looking at the scenes from the show, that's kind of how I interpret it. And again, I personally don't interpret it as an animated light. I think it's just, you know, the camera or the character moving like this that creates that illusion. Okay, so I hope that clarifies a few things about how I did my box, and hope that's helpful for you. Okay.